Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I've really missed you guys, but yes, I'm back in the desk. There is this photo that has gone viral. It is the photo of CSK Macharia, a photo taken with him, with Emmanuel Talam, who is the head of communications in director of Statehouse, and the director at Statehouse, Emmanuel Talam, sharing greetings in Statehouse. This photo has widely been shared with many questions about it. One thing you'll realize is that CSK Macharia was alone, did not have a PA or other secret details. But again, what has what has happened is very clear in terms of many Kenyans asking about it. CSK Macharia is a very close confidant of Raila Odinga, spanning 20 years. Maybe they've been in a relationship for almost 20 years. Having Raila fought for him the starting days of Royal Media Services, and of course, when he was crossing paths with those in government, Raila Odinga was coming to his defense. So I understand that Macharia did not go to Statehouse alone, but it was in a contingent of other, in a delegation of many. But only Macharia was allowed to meet President Ruto, with many trying to make a twist that was a bit of a personal affair. After all, but they're saying that quite a number of people have been coming now. Talam is the press secretary of the Presidential Communication Service. And maybe strategically, if this meeting was to be shared, if this meeting was private, then why do you think that William Ruto did not take a photo with him? It's clear. If indeed the intention, yes, it was a private meeting, but why did Ruto have a photo session with him? And even if that photo session happened, but it was not shared, if they didn't want it to be known that CSK Macharia was in Statehouse, then clearly they wouldn't even have taken that photo with Emmanuel Talam. But I think, according to me, a mere fact that Ruto never maybe took photo, but that photo was never shared, could be a clear sign that maybe William Ruto did not meet with them. William Ruto did not have a very strong agreement with him. And the photo that was taken by Emmanuel Talam was just taken because if you look at it, I don't think it's something that was planned. I think it's clear that the Statehouse team just had a screen grab, a short screen of that photo without it being planned, because they were not posing for a photo. If anything, they seem to have been greeting themselves, but someone was there to take the photo, and the photo was shared. It seems they met somewhere in the corridors. So I want to believe that President Ruto just wanted to do some humiliation on what exactly happened. The details are not yet scanty, but a critical look at the fact that Ruto did not share a photo of meeting CSK Macharia could point out that if there was the private affair while they were meeting, maybe it was not held. It's putting into a context, it's coming amidst a very strong exchange between Moses Kuria and the media fraternity, with him profiling media. And of course, it has been drawing a lot of attention, even from the Media Owners Association, that have largely been blamed, and the journalists that have largely been blamed. It is also coming a day when Raila Odinga was heading to Kamkunji, was having a meeting in Kamkunji, the rally in Kamkunji. So quite a number of things are falling into place to a point of pointing that, of course, the fact that this is a gentleman that was supporting Raila Odinga. And sorry, if maybe he was to cross over and fully support William Ruto, I think William Ruto would have taken that photo. Did he decline the photo session, or did William Ruto, was the photo taken and not shared? I am just so curious that the fact that a photo was never shared. In my own understanding, I've broken maybe my interpretation of that meeting into these three aspects. Before I look at that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for your support, for those who've always supported us, for those who've supported our Saturday, Sunday event. I'm here to share video. I've been still up and down since we lost Sarah. And yes, and I need to say thank you very much for those who are getting in contact. Guys, I may not respond to all the messages. I know that quite a number of us who are still hanging around the life of Sarah, yeah, we'll give more updates and messages. Thank you. I think from Monday next week, probably we shall have way forward. But for now, we're still also giving time. So thank you very much for, again, your concern. Now, I want to make it very clear here. Could it be that Macharia was meeting, because he met Ruto, it's being touted as a private meeting, was negotiating the way to government advertising? You know, it is very clear that there is also a deliberate effort by government to stifle the media by denying them the government advertising, the government adverts. It is something that it was said in the corridors. The media cannot come out and shout with it. But if you speak to insiders, you will actually confess that, you'll actually realize that the bit of some profiling, that profiling has affected the inflow of government adverts. And maybe it is a very clear sign that is trying to negotiate the way in it. Apart from it, one of the reasons still touching on advertising is they could have been trying to meet President William Ruto personally to try to find their way and negotiate, have a ceasefire between the Moses Kuria and the other one, because and the nation. I understand only Macharia met Ruto, but I think he was in company of others. These others have not been mentioned, but it is understood could still be other stakeholders in the media. They would have been looking for an audience with William Ruto for a ceasefire. Because despite of the first effort to go to court and gag media from profiling, to gag Moses Kuria, the CS Moses Kuria, from profiling the media, he continued with the attacks. And the thing is turning a bit ugly, and the effect could have been felt. So today, the very Tuesday, is also a day when William Ruto meets the cabinet. The cabinet meets on Tuesday. So it was a deliberate meeting, probably to ensure that they try to go to behind the scene and settle the Moses Kuria uproar with the media. Still touching on negotiating their way on advertising is government owes media houses billion in terms of pending bills of business that was done in the past. And I remember raising that question here, that in the budget policy, fiscal policy that was just done recently, there is money set aside for paying maize subsidy, fuel subsidy, and some other pending bills. But the media has actually not been given a huge budget. If you look at the kind of budget that ICT has been given, where the Directorate of Government Advertising falls in, it doesn't really come out clearly. So that, in terms of negotiating for advertising, government media relationship, could be that will be it. Number two, Macharia, I don't think he has broken ranks with Azimio la Umoja. I may be wrong on this. I don't think he has broken ranks with Azimio la Umoja, because with Azimio leader Raila Odinga, and could possibly be an emissary that is trying to get a truce between the opposition and the government side. Maybe. Because majority of viewers of Royal Media Services, which the chairman is Macharia, majority of those viewers are, not majority, but he has a chunk of viewers from the opposition side. And these viewers from the opposition side would actually feel probably they want a situation of ceasefire, because at the end of the day, I've always said, Raila, I've not followed the rally. I still want to get time to follow what the messaging was all about. And if you look at the kind of approach that Raila has had in the past, is even though there's a bit of that information in terms of what we're going to do next, but he has never ruled out dialogue. But that's one thing that maybe the public need to know. Raila Odinga has never ruled out dialogue. It was tried, and I saw the bipartisan talks was again supposed to resume. We are waiting to see, how that will play. Possibly, Macharia could still be meeting William Ruto on a personal business. Yes, and if you ask me, weighing all this, it's bit of a personal business. It's bit on the business side, because if it was to politically Macharia crossing over to rather work with William Ruto, which is not a possibility, but if it was Ruto to get some political bonga points, then honestly, you would have seen President William Ruto sharing photo with Macharia. But the fact that, did he decline? Possibly. I think, if you ask me, my punchline is here. Macharia might have declined a photo session with the president, or might have walked out intentionally without agreement, because what would happen if you would wake up and go to take a photo with the president? The whole story will change, and you will hear headline running out that citizen now going to government, maybe now going to support government, or now sitting to advance government policy. So this has been there for some time. It is something we're gonna look out for. We see what could be happening. Maybe there's some threats about the license, that's going on. We're going to revoke your license, and even the kind of tax that has been imposed on media, they are trying to get a way through it, because it's been a little bit high. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. If you ask me, Macharia declined that photo session. I'm a bit convinced. It's not about, after all that, politically, to be politically right, he decided not to take that. Thank you.